I figured out a way how to get rich quick. And by quick, I mean for sure. Meaning that if you do what I'm gonna show you that I did, you'll get rich pretty quickly and for sure. If you're someone that wants to actually make money and you have the work ethic, then let's get right into it. Here's how to get rich quick. Now, when I say quick, I want to make it very clear. Okay, quick is relative. All right, so for me, it took me about 5 years. Right, 5 years to get to where I'm at the point today. Now, rich to you might be a little bit different. You might just want to make $10,000 a month. You might want to make $100,000 a month. I've done both, and I can tell you that the timeline will be different, but here's just how I did it, okay? 5 years ago, I was doing door-to-door sales. I was literally doing door-to-door sales, and I was just door knocking every single day in a city called Yorba Linda in California, where I lived basically in this shack over here, okay? And it was during an entire summer in California where I was just knocking doors, living in this shack on a twin-size air mattress right here with a toilet right over there. And I was sleeping basically in this little casita in a big house with like 12 other people doing door-to-door sales, selling solar. And I was trying to get rich, but nobody there was really rich besides the owner himself, who wasn't even there. And so we were obviously trying to make it happen. I quickly realized that it wasn't happening. And so I realized that I was in the wrong vehicle. Sales is always the best skill you can learn to start, which is my first piece of advice for you right now. If you want to get rich quick, the first skill you have to learn is sales. Okay, not just to learn how to sell to other people, but more importantly, how to learn to sell yourself on yourself, meaning you have to sell you on you before you can expect to sell anybody else on you too. Let me repeat that, okay? You have to first sell yourself on you before you can expect to sell anybody else on you too. Now, moving forward, okay, after I did door-to-door sales, what I did after that was I realized I have to go learn from someone who already has a business that I want, to go learn and be mentored by someone who has a business that I want. That's when I sent a cold email to my former mentor who already had a marketing business, where I basically said, I don't know if you're hiring or not, okay, but I want to come work with you, and I'm going to keep following up with you until I get an interview. I just scraped his website for a bunch of emails that were affiliated with his company using a software called Hunter, okay? And that allowed me to then email the entire company, including him, and land an interview for the very next day. Funny enough, they emailed me back and they said, hey, we're looking for someone to help out with digital marketing. Can you come for an interview tomorrow? Sure enough, I packed my bags that night, quit my door-to-door sales job, drove out the next morning just for the interview with all my stuff packed in my car from Yorba Linda, California to Scottsdale, Arizona that next day, because I knew that that was the opportunity I needed to go learn from someone who had a similar business that I wanted to build. So I committed first and figured the rest out later. I went all in. I burned the boats. I didn't just sit back and say, well, maybe I'll drive out for the interview and, if it doesn't work out, I'll just, go back to door-to-door sales. I said, no, I'm the guy for the job. I'm going to go sell myself. I'm going to get this job. Learn sales, okay? Find a better vehicle, AKA find a mentor in the vehicle that you want to build for yourself as your business too. Now, after I sent that email and I obviously crushed the interview, I then worked for my former mentor for almost 3 years, and I learned everything there was to learn about marketing, okay? Specifically copywriting, direct response marketing, advertising, funnels, sales funnels, automations, tech, info products, low ticket, high ticket, book a call funnels, challenge funnels, webinars, right? Downsells, OTOs, everything there was with online direct response marketing, I learned through working for my former mentor. This is the third lesson for you, okay? Work to learn, not to earn. Rich Dad, Poor Dad 101, a really good book if you haven't read it, okay? One of the very first books I read that changed my life, which was work to learn, not to earn. You see, a lot of you watching this video right now are probably in a spot where you want to make a lot of money, right? You're trying to do everything you can to make money, just like I was doing door-to-door sales. I was trying to make money because I realized Grant Cardone was telling me, oh, I got to learn sales. I got to get a commission-only sales job because it's going to allow me to make as much money as I want, because there's no cap on how much I can earn. And he's right. But the problem was I was in the wrong vehicle for me personally. I'm good at sales, but I'm an even better marketer. I was just in the wrong vehicle. I didn't want to do door-to-door sales the rest of my life. I wasn't passionate about it. I had to be sold on it to be able to sell it, and I sold myself on it, which you can sell yourself on anything. but it just wasn't the right vehicle. And so I worked and learned marketing now that I had the sales skills underneath me, at least a solid foundation, to then learn marketing, which allowed me to sell myself on that interview to get the job, to learn, which allowed me to add value to his businesses because he saw the potential in me. And as a result, I helped him generate millions of dollars. You can see here a screenshot when I was working full time for him. I spent just under $4 million on advertising, specifically on Google and YouTube ads for a wide variety of offers for his business, which allowed me to help him make over $10 million in new revenue for his brands and his companies, which allowed him to earn these 2 Comma Club awards, which you can see right here, allowed me to have the experience to be able to fly on private jets to meet and shake hands with, influencers and big names like Tony Robbins, industry leaders like Russell Brunson, and be able to mastermind with all these cool people that I've never been exposed to before, but I used to look up to, that I would watch and learn from and study. Now I was in the same network as them because why? Because I was adding value to this person's company, which allowed me to be able to then go off and do it on my own. But the very first thing I did was learn sales, okay? And then go all in when I had the opportunity to go work and learn for someone who could be my mentor, and then be able to work to learn, okay? Not to earn. I took a pay cut, was making, barely above minimum wage at that time. But as a result of my hard work, and I saw the opportunity long term to be able to learn the skills and add value to his company, I generated him millions of dollars. And as a result, I got paid handsomely as well. I was able to earn my first 6 figures per year working for his company. Again, that might not be rich to you. To me, 6 figures a year was everything. I used to write it down in my journal every single day. I make $100,000 a year. I make $100,000 a year. I make $100,000 a year. That was my goal for the longest time, from the age of 0 to about 25 years old, was to make $100,000 a year. That was my goal for the longest time. I quickly did that faster than I thought when I just learned to work to learn, not to earn. And then as I was working for him, one of the very first things he taught me that he would always say to everybody in his mastermind was, I owe all of my success to masterminds. Being in the room with like-minded individuals, sharing what's working, collaborating, and helping each other grow their businesses. So he would always say that. I joined masterminds. I owe all of my success to masterminds, which allowed me to then see the opportunity to invest some of the money I was now earning, thanks to him, working for him, to be able to join my first mastermind. Okay, so I paid about $24,000 to join my first mastermind, which at that time was a lot of money. Okay, and I was on a payment plan to do it, spending about $2,000 a month to be able to invest in it, right? Which was, still a lot of money for me at that time. It was a gut check. But this also allowed me to meet more people that were also in the same industry as us, who also needed help with what I was already doing for my mentor at that time when I was working full time. So I got to meet, obviously, guys like Rudy Maurer here, who's one of the best Facebook advertisers in the entire world, who partnered with Ty Lopez and now has, an 8-figure business and brand. And I met him at that first mastermind that I paid to join. I paid to join my first mastermind to be exposed to more mastermind and network and marketers, to be able to learn how I can grow my income. All right. Now, what was interesting was at that mastermind, Vince, who was the host of the mastermind, Vince Del Monte, he was my first official business coach, if you will. He gave me the light bulb moment to think about how I can do what I was doing for Dean on my own and help more people and build an agency. At the time, I was trying to do my own fitness thing. Like, if you've been following me for a while, or you can look back on my YouTube channel, I had a lot of fitness content before, and I was basically trying to just build a fitness business. And he asked me a question that was, well, look, Brian, what do you really want to do? Do you really want to be selling how to build bigger biceps when you're 35? And I was like, well, I haven't really thought about that. He's like, well, look, dude, you're stepping over pennies. You're stepping over dollar bills and chasing pennies. And what he was saying was, you have a skill, which is learning how to run ads, that you can run ads for people to get them more money and make their business grow. And you know how to do it. Most people don't know how to do it, especially in this mastermind. If you just do that for other people, you can grow a bigger business faster and be able to then do the fitness stuff if you want to later, once you already have a brand. But this is the path to get rich fast, is basically what he was saying. And so what he gave me was the light bulb moment to think about how I can build a business based off of the skills that I was already doing working for my former mentor. And that's exactly what I did. I listened to him. I paid him $24,000. Obviously I was going to listen to him. And so even though I didn't really want to hear it at the time, my ego was in the way. I just said, look, I paid this guy. He's more successful than me. Let me listen to him. And so I started building my own advertising agency, which is now known as adspend.com. I started getting a couple clients on the side as a result of paying for that mastermind, because people in that mastermind knew me as the guy that was running ads for this person. So they saw me as the expert, and then they wanted to pay me to do what I was doing for them. Okay? This is another lesson for you. You join a mastermind. Pay to invest in a mastermind. Now, I was able to, through that mastermind, share my knowledge and expertise because I was the guy in the room who knew how to do that one specific skill, which was running YouTube ads, profitable YouTube ads to get more leads, calls, and clients for businesses, which then allowed me to be positioned as the expert in that mastermind and then present on how to do it in front of everybody in the mastermind at the next mastermind that we had. How many times can I say mastermind? A lot more, you'll see. And that allowed me to get clients very quickly. I was able to get my first few clients and start my own side income and business on the side on top of what I was doing full-time for this mentor. So I was now earning an extra income on the side and making more money as a result of joining and paying to invest in that mastermind. All right. Now, at that mastermind, not that same one, but a different one, different event, Vince intros me to Bedros Keuilian. Okay. And he says, you got to meet Brian. Brian's the guy that runs all my YouTube ads because Vince became a client of mine as well. And you need help with YouTube ads. And then Bedros, who's, if you don't know who Bedros is, you can look him up on YouTube. He was one of my first official whale clients, as you will, for my agency. And as a result, Bedros became a client too because I was the guy that was in the room as the YouTube ads expert. Vince intros me to him, immediate warm referral, and Bedros becomes a client. Okay, because I was in the room, right? Because I was in the room, because I paid to be in the room and I was invested, therefore the host of the mastermind, Vince, was invested in me. So here's your first takeaway. I've already said like a bunch of takeaways, but this is one of the biggest takeaways. Again, when you're at these masterminds, especially when you use this for yourself to get rich quick, you don't want to be the guy that's like asking these people to take pictures with them. You want to position yourself as just a friend, someone who's cool, someone who's just like them, someone who's on the same level, if not higher, okay, versus someone who's like a fan. And I've always known this from like college and like, being in a fraternity. And most people think like fraternities are stupid and like all this stuff. But it's just like joining a mastermind. You pay to be in front of more like-minded people like you who also want to party, who also want to date hot chicks, and who also want to have fun and, get a good education and have fun while they're in college, right? That's just literally what a fraternity is. And so I had that already in my head. But I also knew that like with most people, what they would do was they would always take pictures with these people that they look up to. That's not what you should do. You should act like you're already friends with them and compliment them on their work. Don't ask them for pictures. Just be an equal. Be someone who's cool. Get a beer with them. Get a drink with them. Get a workout with them. And just be someone who's cool. And they'll naturally be interested in you. This is one of the laws of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Be genuinely interested in other people. And as a result, other people will be genuinely interested in you too. All right, so don't be a fanboy. Now, let's keep going here. After I worked with Bedros, okay, then I also got introduced to Frank Kern, who's an OG in the marketing space, really legendary copywriter. And Frank Kern, I knew that if I work with Frank Kern, okay, I will get more clients as well. And so I get introduced to Frank Kern. You can see one of my friends, Ryan's, introduced me to him. And you can see he definitely wants to test YouTube here. This is a text conversation we had back in 2020 at this time. And I ended up following up with him for a long time, for about 2.5 months. I sent him a personalized Loom video on how I could help him, copy and paste his Facebook ads onto YouTube. And ultimately he ended up becoming a client. But it took 2.5 months to get him as a client because I knew, just like with Bedros, if I get him as a client, I land that case study, I'll be able to get even more clients. All right. So now, the first job I did for him was free. Okay. So just like when I worked for my mentor, before, where I was working to learn, not to earn, I knew and I saw the long-term play here of if I offer my services to Frank for free, because he can work with anybody, right? He's a legend in the game. He doesn't have to pay me. He can go pay somebody else who's much, much more qualified. But if I earn his business by doing it for free the first time, get him the results, then I'll keep him as a client for a lot longer, right? Or worst case, just get a case study from him and maybe some referrals, which is exactly what ended up happening. I did my work for free for him to start because I saw the long-term play here to get a case study and results to use that for my future growth of my agency. And as a result, he introduced me to all these people you're seeing on your screen right here. And more importantly, he introduced me to a guy called Roland Frazier, who is the co-founder of a company called Digital Marketer and Scalable.co, and another whale client, a big name in the space, very reputable, has his own mastermind, does 8 figures a year. I knew if I land Roland Frazier as a client, then I'll be able to do the same thing. And so what do you know? Boom. In 2020, the very first year I had my agency, okay, I earned just under $400,000 on the side of my full-time income. So let me backtrack for you, okay? Door-to-door sales, okay? Door-to-door sales, cold email to go work to learn for 3 years, making, making no money at first, then decent money, and then 6 figures a year, joining a mastermind, investing that money back into my self-education, my personal development, getting introduced to people at the mastermind, being positioned as the expert with the skill that I had, getting introduced to people like Bedros Keuilian, getting them as clients, getting introduced to more clients by doing good work, following up with them, using those sales skills, okay, working for free for a few clients that I knew I could use as case studies to get even more clients like Frank Kern and then Roland Frazier, right? And then I ended up making almost $400,000 my very first year in business while making basically all that money on the side for the first few months of that year until I transitioned to full time. So I hope you're still with me here, okay? Because this is a very, 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 very key point in the journey. I quit my job now. Now I'm off full time on my own building adspend.com. I'm on my own completely. There's no safety net of the 100K a year. All right. None of this would have happened, by the way, if I wasn't good at the skill that I was helping other people implement in their business. YouTube ads, creating and running profitable YouTube ads. So I learned sales, and then I was able to use that skill to get a job working for a well-known marketer in the industry who had a big name. I got paid to learn how to do the skill that I now am doing for these people. I got good at that skill at that job working to learn, okay, not to earn. And as a result, I was able to earn 4 times as much as I was full-time on the side because I got great at that one skill, okay? That one skill. So you have to be good at what you do. You can't skip that process. You can't skip that part. You have to be good at the skill. What is your high income skill? Is it sales? Is it marketing? Mine, I learned sales to be able to get better at marketing. And as a result, I used marketing to be my high income skill, specifically YouTube ads. Very niche, okay? Very niche. But that niche was enough to make me an extra $400,000 on the side with very little overhead. This was still me basically doing it by myself with maybe one person towards the end of 2020. Okay, now let's keep going here. How do you get rich quick? Okay, well, I then doubled down on what worked before. I didn't do anything different. I just doubled down. I joined another mastermind, which was War Room. And by the way, War Room was hosted by my client, Roland Frazier. Okay, Roland Frazier. He became a client of mine in 2020. I joined his mastermind in 2021 because I was already running his ads for his company and his brands, which allowed me to speak at his mastermind because I knew if I join his mastermind and I pay him, okay, he'll be more invested in promoting me because I'm already running his ads, getting him great results, making him more money, which allows me to be positioned as the expert in his mastermind, which allowed me to speak on stage, as you can see right here, in front of everybody else in the mastermind, and then earn their business too because I'm the guy running ads for Roland Frazier, Digital Marketer, etc. I paid $36,000 to join this mastermind. So I paid $24,000 for the first mastermind, Vince Del Monte's 7-figure fitness business mastermind. Now I paid $36,000 for this mastermind. I doubled down on what worked. Okay, so I invested basically almost 10% of what I, made back into another mastermind. And what do you know? I got a testimonial from Roland Frazier, and then Roland introduces me to everybody. Okay, way more people here. Way more people here. It keeps repeating itself. You pay. Okay, you pay, and when you pay, people pay attention. I did it again I joined Cole Gordon's 8-figure boardroom mastermind, which was $48,000 at the time. Okay, so the price keeps going up, as you can see, 24, 36, 48, because now I'm around people that are in the room paying $48,000 as well for the year to be a part of this mastermind, which means they're higher quality. Okay, they're qualified for my agency. Cole asked me to speak because now I'm the guy running ads for Roland Frazier, Frank Kern, all these guys, and I've also helped him now with his YouTube ads as a result, because I'm the guy in the mastermind that paid him, and he's helping me with my business as well. So we become friends. He asked me to speak. I get a testimonial from Cole. He says this is by far the best insights he's had on YouTube ads, period. And he's bought every single course or coaching program there is on YouTube ads, but the one that made him the most money was ours. Okay, that's huge. And in 2021, I ended up basically 4Xing, right? So I go from almost $400,000 a year, 2020, to 1.09 million in 2021. Okay, from 2017 door knocking to $1.09 million in revenue 2021. It's 4 years. Okay, it's 4 years. Is it overnight? Of course not. Is it quick? You're damn right. That's pretty quick. Okay, most people never make $1 million in their entire lives, and that's fine. But this is just what I did, and I'm showing you how you can do it too to get rich quick like I did. And again, quick to me, 5 years in the grand scheme of things, when we're going to be 80, 90, 20, 120 years old potentially with our specific age, it's pretty quick in the grand scheme of things. But it's maybe not a lot of you, maybe not a lot of money to some of you either. I'm not doing this to flex by any means. I'm just doing this to show you what I did. And this is not me saying, oh, look at me, I'm making so much money. No, this is just literally me showing you what I did so you can do it too. I paid people to be a part of their mastermind so I could be in front of more people just like them to earn more business for my business, get more clients, use my high income skill to get paid more money and build a business. And as a result, it keeps working. Okay, now I do the same thing after 2021. I joined Sam Ovens' Quantum Mastermind, which is no longer available, RIP. Shout out to Sam Ovens, one of the best masterminds I've ever been to. And what do you know? I'm the guy at the YouTube ad. I'm the guy that knows YouTube ads better than anybody, with the most case studies, the most results, the most track record, the most proof, the biggest clients, the agency that does YouTube ads, right? And Sam asked me to speak at his mastermind, the very first time he's asked anybody to speak at a mastermind, on YouTube ads, because everybody there wanted to learn how to scale with YouTube ads. Sam, never having experience doing YouTube ads himself just yet, said, well, why would I teach it? Let me just get Brian, who's paid me money to join my mastermind, and who's the guy that does it for all the biggest names in the space, to teach it to the mastermind members. So I don't have to, and I can learn from him too. And boom, there I am speaking in front of his entire mastermind, in front of everybody who's paid him $36,000 a year. So $24,000, $36,000 for War Room, $48,000 for Cole Gordon's 8-figure boardroom at the time, and then now $36,000 for Sam Ovens. You can see what's happening. I'm investing more, and the revenue is growing as well as a result. Okay? Then, as a result of this, Sam Ovens asked me to partner with him on a new front-end product and offer and coaching program mastermind called WeTube, right? Which allowed me to be positioned even bigger in front of his entire list, his entire audience, his entire network as the YouTube ads expert to go to and work with when you want to scale with YouTube ads, which dramatically improved our brand awareness for the company and our agency adspend.com. And he was able to give me a testimonial in that actual offer video to the marketplace and said, Brian's in my mastermind. When we get to the YouTube ads part of the mastermind, I sit down, I let him come up to speak about it. He is passionate about YouTube ads. He loves it. It's his craft. He's very good at it. And he knows all the best strategies, tactics, and everything right now. And he knows how to get YouTube ads to work for other people, not just himself. Testimonial goes crazy. People start working with us even more, but it doesn't stop there. I also joined Jeremy Haynes' Inner Circle. Okay. He basically tells me you're poor. I'm like, how, Sway? How? And then I pay him $15,000 at a time. It might be more now, I'm not sure. So I joined another mastermind, my second mastermind that year. Okay, so I paid Sam 36, paid Jeremy 15. So I'm just reinvesting back into my business like I did in the very beginning because I know it works. And in 2022, we ended up doing 1.73. Okay, this is a screenshot from our actual P&L. 1.73 in total revenue. 1.73 in total revenue. All right. So 2021, 1 point, what was that, 08? Yeah, 09 to 1.73. But I paid more in 2022 to join more masterminds, right? I was in Kohl's, I was in Sam's, I was in Jeremy Haynes, all at the same time. 3 masterminds. Why wouldn't I do it? It's worked for me before, and boom, it's working for me now, okay? So, 2023, we can just skip the whole story now. It's 25 minutes in, I wanna get to the point. 1.7 million, so we do, just a couple $1,000s more than 2022. A lot changed in our business at the time, but what do? I end up hosting my first mastermind event. This is me, screenshot, hosting my mastermind now, which has always been a dream of mine to do. One of the best masterminds in my opinion, on a yacht, Miami, cigars, yacht party, admin attire. And so we make more money last year as a result. Now, what's the takeaway from you? Okay, pay for speed, all right? Pay for speed. Join masterminds, buy courses, coaching programs, and invest in your self-education. Pay to play. Oh man, he's going to be shilling his own stuff. He wants us to pay his own coaching program or mastermind. Of course. Why wouldn't I sell that? Because it worked for me. So if you want to get rich quick, the way that I did it was I paid for speed. Just like when I did in college. I wanted to get around the best parties with the hottest chicks, to have the most fun while I was in college at the best college in the entire state of the United States, which is Arizona State University, and I had a lot of fun because I paid for speed. Instead of trying to just be the guy that tries to search out parties and text all the chicks he knows and says, "Where's the party at tonight?" and blow up their phones and be the total, person that's annoying, I just said, let me just join a fraternity who hosts these every single weekend and I can have fun. Pay for speed. Invest in myself. I translated that to my business too. I used the skills of sales to sell myself, to work to learn for 3 years, learn the skill, use that skill to start a business, join a mastermind, use that skill to meet more people in the mastermind, get more business, grow the business, double down by investing in more masterminds, and as a result, the business has continuously grown year over year over year over year to where I'm at the point now where, in some cases, some people might think I'm rich. At this point in my life, I'm not even going to, talk about money necessarily, but it's just like, I'm still having a lot to learn. And all I can share with you is this is just what I did. I just paid for speed. I just invested in my self-education. You see the tally at this point now, how much I invested and what the return's been. Was it worth it? My answer is yes.